Hey, how's it going? This is Melinda and welcome to my channel. Today, I want to talk to you about albums that I have in my collection that I really love. They are great records, but man, I never need to hear them again. I have reached the threshold with these records, and I will not be pulling these out for a while. Maybe at some point, they will be fresh again and new again to me, and I will reach out and grab these records. But as of right now, I've played them too many times. And let me just be clear, these are fantastic records that I have loved, but it's my fault. I've played them one too many times and now I need to set them aside. I just have lost my appeal to play them anymore. So let's go ahead and get started. Please stay tuned to the end of the video because I've got a couple of amazing albums I want to discuss with you, and they are new music. So I am the worst when it comes to new music, but I have a couple of records here that, wow, I want to let you know about because they're great new releases. Let's go ahead and get started though with the oldies and the inspiration for why I wanted to make this video to begin with. So my husband and I were in the car the other day and a song came on, and okay, so we have a screen in the middle that I went to push, and also on the steering wheel is the option if you want to push, like I had Amazon Music, a music list on. If you want to change and go to the next song, you can push on the steering wheel as well. At the same time, we both pushed because we were tired of this particular song. And I looked over to my husband and I said, I don't ever have to hear this song again. I don't ever have to hear this. I'm so tired of it. And so I started thinking, I want to make a video about songs I never need to hear again. And then, and I don't know when Pete Pardo from the Sea of Tranquility made this video. It might be very recent. I didn't look to see, but it came up on my watch list and I watched it. He made a video about albums he doesn't have to hear again. And it got me to thinking, there are albums. This album's one of them. So I want to give a shout out to Sea of Tranquility and Pete for coming out with that video. But I also have to say that this was already in my mind from the song Girls Just Want to Have Fun. I'm tired of that song. I don't need to hear it again. And I have to say, the album She's So Unusual, it's one of those albums, man. It is a great record. I've had the cassette since I was 14 years old, but I don't need to hear Time After Time. I don't need to hear Girls Just Want to Have Fun. I don't need to hear this album in its entirety for a very long time. Now, if the song on a hit, like if I'm listening to a playlist and the song All Through the Night comes on, I probably won't turn that. In fact, I might even crank up the volume, just to be fair. But as far as the rest of the album, I've played it to death. Same goes for this next one, a record that I have to say I have had since I was 14 years old and I love, but I've burnt myself out on, and it is Huey Lewis and the News Sports. I've loved it so much that I actually bought the MoFi of it. I have great memories of it, and I'm especially nostalgic about it this time of year because when I was 14 years old, my birthday, which was this past weekend, I had a birthday, much different year, different age, but when I was 14 years old, this was out and a big hit. And my mom knew somebody who could do a nice hayride, and I invited a bunch of friends over. We had a hayride, and I gave my cassette to the guy driving us around on this hayride. And we listened to this. It's Huey Lewis and the News Sports. I still would say that if the song Walking on a Thin Line or If This Is It comes on, I might listen to that. Most of the songs on here, I love Heart and Soul too. I love that one. I don't need to hear these songs though over and over again. I'm done with this album for now. I have played it way too many times. The song Bad Is Bad, I think that's what it's called. Yeah, Bad Is Bad, I never need to hear again. I've never loved that song. But This was a huge hit. This was the breakout album for Huey Lewis and the News. And I've loved it for a long time, but I've played it to death. And I will say that as much as I love this album, and his song Stuck With You is okay, and The Power of Love's great, after that, when we get into Hip to Be Square and Jacob's Ladder, Huey Lewis contributed to the end of the radio pop hit era for me, and I went on to what we call hair metal nowadays with the Motley Crue and Great White and bands like that. So I'm tired of this album's sports, but I say again, it is a great record. It's a 10, and it's been so popular that I've worn myself out on it. And here's another one. I'm cheating a little bit, okay? But it is an album that I have in my collection that I never need to play again. Aerosmith's Greatest Hits. And it's the smaller version. They don't expand on it. You know, the song Dream On is on here. Sweet Emotion. I'm not tired of Back in the Saddle. I can still jam to that and love it. It's great. But of course, Come Together, you know, Walk This Way, is that on here? Yeah. I don't need to hear those songs ever again, or at least at the moment, unless I'm listening to the entire album where I'm still hearing those gems that were never played on the radio. I can play the debut album of Aerosmith and hear Dream On because I'm hearing all these other songs that aren't as drilled in my head. I'm just a little tired of this version of their greatest hits. That doesn't mean I don't love a lot of the songs that came around later. I'm just a little worn out on a lot of the stuff that's on this record. Aerosmith's an amazing band. I love the records. No offense to any of them, but I'm a little burnt out on their greatest hits. And while I'm talking about greatest hits, I'm also going to address this one. The Eagles' Greatest Hits Volume 1. I love Volume 2, but I'm a little burnt out on Volume 1. The songs Take It Easy and Lion Eyes, I'm a little burnt out, no doubt about it. That doesn't mean that this isn't great. In fact, it goes back and forth with Michael Jackson's Thriller of the best-selling record of all time. So yes, a lot of people love the Eagles' greatest hits. I actually prefer, if I'm going to listen to the Eagles, I like putting on, I have all of those Mobile Fidelity one-steps. They did an amazing job with the Eagles. And I don't mind. I love playing the full albums because I'm getting songs that I'm not as familiar with. And yes, Take It Easy is on there. Lion Eyes is on one of them. The songs I'm kind of tired of are on them. But I'm also hearing a lot of music I'm not as familiar with. But as far as grabbing their greatest hits, Volume 1, I don't need to do that ever again. I'm kind of burnt out on those. No offense to the Eagles. I love them, but I don't need to hear their greatest hits ever again. Maybe I'll change my mind in a few years. Here's another one, and you guys are going to kill me for saying this, but I'm an honest person. I'm just going to address it, and you can leave kind remarks that are negative. I don't mind that. I'm a little burnout, you guys, and by a little, I mean a lot, of Kiss's Destroyer. Now, if I've got to play it, it's going to be Kiss Destroyer Resurrected, the version that got remixed, so it sounds a little different. And Bob Ezrin changed it around a little bit. I like that, but I don't need to hear Detroit Rock City or Sweet Pain or Great Expectations. I don't need to hear those for a while. I find myself when I'm in the Kiss kind of mood, I'm going to pull Creatures of the Night or Dynasty. Or even the MTV Unplugged. I love that. I don't need to hear Destroyer that often. But having said that, if I hear King of the Nighttime World or the song Do You Love Me, I can listen to those all day long. So I know. A lot of you are Kiss fans. You don't understand, and I get it. But it's because this album is so great, and I've played it a million times that I don't need to hear it again. Here's another one. And I admit, I listen to The Police Synchronicity. I do pull it out. And I'm so tired of the song Every Breath You Take, this version of it. But it is so phenomenal. When I'm testing out stereo equipment, that bass on this record is superb and it sounds great. Tea in the Sahara is still amazing. But when you get to songs like Every Breath You Take, King of Pain, Wrapped Around Your Finger, yeah, I understand. I don't need to hear those songs again. I still love Synchronicity too and Tea in the Sahara. And it is a great test demo when it comes to stereo equipment, testing out the bass. That is a great one. Get an original, pull it out, look, and if you can see light coming through it and it's transparent, it is a great sounding version of Synchronicity, a great album by The Police. It's not their fault that I've listened to it a gazillion times and burnt myself out on it. But a lot of you would probably agree with that record. You've probably heard it a lot. And oh my goodness, I'm going to get so much hatred for pointing this one out. Again, it's a fantastic record. I've just burnt myself out on it, which is my fault. ACDC, Back in Black. And this is also one of those that Pete Pardo from Sea of Tranquility pointed out. I don't need to hear Shook Me All Night Long ever again. I don't. But now Back in Black is still a great song. I have it in my jukebox. If I want to hear that single, I can play it in there and it's great. And it's a great album. It's fantastic. It kept AC/DC going at a critical moment in their careers. But I've been playing it to death for so long that I find myself playing other AC/DC records. I love Who Made Who. I think that one's fantastic. And of course, You Shook Me All Night Long's on that one as well. I know. Just Back in Black has burnt out on me. Doesn't mean it's not a great album. Now, this next one, a lot of you are going to agree with, but this record's so important to me and I love it so much that I actually own the reissue and the original Def Leppard's Hysteria. Now, when the reissue came out on 2 LPs, I bought it because I wanted to hear it, and I heard other people say it sounds better because it's a lot of songs spread out on 2 LPs. It sounds good. It's not great. Of course, Pour Some Sugar on Me. I'll be honest with you guys. I never just totally loved that song. I was never on board with that. But the song Animal, I love, and I can still play that. If that comes out, I have Amazon Music and I play in my car. And if the song Animal comes out, I don't skip that song. I love it. I kind of like the song Excitable too. That was one of my favorites, back in the day. And I love this album enough that when I bought the reissue, and I already owned the reissue, but I went to Riverbend Records, owned by Billy and Tara Hurst. And I love that store. If you are ever in Godfrey, Illinois, go to that store. They're amazing. I got to go there, and he had the original of Def Leppard's Hysteria. And I bought it because of the nostalgia. But I'm telling you, Love Bites. Ugh. I never need to hear that song again, ever. But it's such an important record in Def Leppard history. All of the other records leading up to that, Pyromania, oh, it's so good. High and Dry, oh, so good. But Hysteria just absolutely blew them up and introduced them to the masses. And so it's important, and it's not bad. I've burnt myself out on it. And like I said, Pour Some Sugar on Me, Love Bites. I never need to hear those songs again. Now, this one, I'm going to say, I don't need to hear side 1 ever again. The rest of it, we're good. I love. And I'm talking about Prince's 1999. So I don't need to hear the song 1999 or Little Red Corvette or Delirious again. But Automatic or something in the what's that called? Oh, Something in the Water Does Not Compute. Bring It On. I love that. The song Free, loved. But I never need to hear side one with those big, big hits ever again. And those are the records that I never need to hear again. Maybe in the future I will play them again. But as of right now, I'm tired of them. I want to talk to you now about some new music. There is a band called The Freight. Look at this tank top. It's so cute. And Adam, he has a channel called The Freight, and I've given him a shout out from my channel because I think his channel's great. He's so sincere. He's so enthusiastic about music. I just love his channel. But he also has a band called The Freight, and Adam was so kind to send an album my way. First off, he sent this tank top to me, a t-shirt to my husband. He really set us up very, very nicely. And I gave us a guitar picks, really cool, amazing stickers, and a cool coaster that I will keep in my music room and use. And he reached out to me and I asked him, I said, if you're going to send me a record, please give me your autograph. I would love to have that. So he kindly did that, sent it to Melinda from Adam. Here is the album by The Freight. It's limited to 500 copies. And they took this very seriously. It was mastered by Ryan K. Smith and pressed at Fidelity Records, one of the newest but best pressing plants. They've been doing nothing but solid work. And Ryan K. Smith is an amazing engineer, mastering engineer. And it's from the tapes. The Freight. This is a new album with new music, and I've played it a few times now. I don't have the songs down by heart. I don't know every lyric, but I really love the first. Of course, you go to side one, Opportunity, going into Good Kind of Crazy. I love how one song just really goes right into the other, and it's so great. The whole album, I really enjoy it. And then the song that really stands out to me because it sticks in my mind. I played this a few times, and when I do my house cleaning, I'm sweeping the floor or dusting because I'm a neat freak. All of a sudden, I would be dusting and I'd stop, and then I'd start singing Tales of Maybe. And I'm not a good singer like Adam is, but it's just one of those songs. I don't know all the lyrics yet, but that hook is incredible for that song. I'm going to leave a link to that song, Tales of Maybe. And as soon as the whole album is released, it's going to be come out this week. This is June 9th of 2025. Limited again to only 500 copies. As soon as the whole album is released, I will leave a link so you can check that out. I think you should check out the whole album. It'll just make you a bigger fan. But for now, I will leave a link to the song Tales of Maybe so you can hear it. Again, Fidelity Records pressed it on black vinyl. Amazing. And thank you to Adam from the channel The Freight for sending me a copy of the record, The Freight, Tales of Maybe. I've been enjoying it, and I don't listen to a lot of new music, but I can give myself props for now having that one, as well as the next one I'm going to show. This is Michael Christenson. He does comment on my channel. He's a viewer, but he's also a great musician. He has sent records to me in the past that I've enjoyed. It's space rock, it's ambient music. I really love this one. It's called Elevation. It's really, really good. He does a great job. I've always enjoyed all of his albums. They're the sit back, have a cool drink, and enjoy kind of music. He always does a great job with the presentation too. I love the music label. But you guys, this is such a beautiful record. You can check it out. I will leave a link for this one too. I believe it's available on Bandcamp. I'll leave a link. This one is beautiful on like a dark green splatter vinyl. It kind of reminds me of the reissue that came out of George Harrison's All Things Must Pass. I think it's so beautiful. The music is fantastic. If you love space rock, psychedelic, there's no singing. It's all just mood music. and I totally dig it. Michael Christenson, thank you so much for sending this record my way. You always do such a great job. So again, you guys, I will leave a link to the new music, and let me know, what are the records that you have you never need to hear again? And maybe disagree with some of my choices. Most importantly, if you enjoyed this video, please subscribe, hit the like button, the notification bell. Most importantly, thank you so much for watching, and I will see you next time. Take care. Bye-bye.